Paulhus and Williams's 2002 research identified a specific cluster of three related but distinct personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, that frequently co-occur in the same individuals, and that, despite their clearly antisocial and often harmful interpersonal consequences, appear to function as a coherent, sometimes short-term successful social strategy rather than simply as clinical pathology. Subclinical narcissism, within the Dark Triad framework, refers to grandiosity, entitlement, a persistent need for admiration, and an inflated sense of self-importance existing at a level within the normal, non-clinical personality continuum, distinct from full narcissistic personality disorder, which requires a more severe, functionally impairing presentation for clinical diagnosis. Subclinical narcissists often make strong positive first impressions due to their confidence and social charisma, though these impressions frequently deteriorate as relationships and interactions continue over time and their self-centered, exploitative interpersonal patterns become apparent. Machiavellianism, named for the Renaissance political philosopher Niccolò Machiavelli, describes a cynical, strategic personality orientation characterized by a manipulative interpersonal style, a fundamentally distrustful and cynical view of human nature, and a willingness to strategically exploit and deceive others when doing so serves one's own self-interest, combined with a pragmatic, unemotional approach to social relationships that treats other people primarily as instrumental means to personal ends rather than as ends valued in themselves. Subclinical psychopathy, the third Dark Triad component, involves elevated impulsivity, thrill and sensation-seeking, reduced empathy for others' distress, and diminished experience of guilt or remorse following harmful actions, existing at a subclinical level within the general, non-criminal population rather than the more severe, forensically relevant presentation associated with clinical psychopathy and criminal behavior, though subclinical and clinical psychopathy are understood to exist along a shared underlying dimensional continuum rather than as entirely categorically distinct phenomena. Evolutionary personality researchers applying life history theory propose that Dark Triad traits collectively function as a coherent fast life history strategy, prioritizing short-term social and reproductive gains, including numerous short-term relationships and rapid resource acquisition through exploitation and manipulation, over the long-term investment strategies, including relationship stability and reputation building, associated with lower Dark Triad trait levels, suggesting these traits, however interpersonally costly to those around a Dark Triad individual, may represent a viable, if ethically and socially costly, alternative social strategy rather than simple pathology or deficit. Research on Dark Triad traits' real-world consequences consistently finds a distinctive pattern of short-term advantage paired with longer-term cost. Individuals higher in Dark Triad traits often show initial success in short-term mating contexts, initial job interview and hiring impressions, and rapid workplace advancement through self-promotion and strategic impression management, but simultaneously show elevated rates of relationship instability, workplace conflict, damaged professional reputation over time, and eventual social and professional consequences as their manipulative and exploitative patterns become apparent to others across repeated interactions. Researchers commonly measure Dark Triad traits using brief, validated self-report instruments, including the Dirty Dozen Scale, a highly efficient 12-item measure, and the more comprehensive Short Dark Triad Scale, both assessing all three component traits together within a single brief assessment, allowing researchers to efficiently study how these traits jointly predict outcomes across workplace behavior, romantic relationship patterns, and social media use, including documented associations between Dark Triad traits and increased self-promotional and manipulative behavior on social media platforms specifically. The Dark Triad reveals that antisocial, exploitative personality traits are not simply clinical aberrations to be studied only in forensic or pathological contexts. They exist along normal personality continuums, cluster together in identifiable patterns, and appear to function as a coherent, if interpersonally costly, social strategy that can produce genuine short-term advantage before its longer-term relational and reputational costs eventually catch up.